and very welcome to the Aquarian TV. I am Liam Jarrett, and we are going to go through a look ahead. Before we start, let us give us a round of applause for making it this far. Yay! I didn't put any intro music because I don't want to get a trademark ping for this, because I have what I believe are some very interesting predictions, analyses. Last year, I made the prediction of war, and shortly after I made that prediction, Russia and Ukraine came into engagement. I said the restriction of our material resources and that affecting our economy. I did not predict a collapse of it, for I knew the South Node would not finish its traversing through Scorpio and North Node from Taurus into the next sign. Do I see that happening this year? Yes. I'm sorry. Regarding war, escalating. Regarding our ability to come together, so things are back to normal now. We can engage. That's beautiful. Last year I did predict that, even falling in love, perhaps. Because 6, what 2022 equals, numerologically, when we add the numbers together, is the Lover's card in the tarot. It's also the card of choices. The letter in the Hebrew alphabet, het, is and, meaning a choice. That's this and that. In the tarot, it's Adam and Eve. And it leads into, or rather Vav, and then it reads into Zion, which is the 7th letter of the Hebrew alphabet, which is order, which goes to the 7th letter in the English alphabet, which is G, of the grand architect, of gematria, of gnosis. In the Hebrew alphabet, I'm taking you to the last 2 digits, 23. They've been using this. In 2019, we had the coronavirus, COVID-19. We were not even allowed to say it on videos. You think you were still not. There's a little bit of a receding in the pond, in the wave pool, perhaps, just for it to come over and to implement their order. 2023 equals 7. 7, the number of order of our 7 chakral points, of the 7 colors in our spectrum, of the 7 days of the week on ad infinitum, the 7 visible heavenly luminaries, of which, together with the elements and the zodiacal signs, are what make up the 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet. There is no 23rd letter of the Hebrew alphabet. And let's listen to what Kabbalists, which is what Masonry uses, and the Rebbes, and if you really want to find out what's going on, go to Chabad.org. The very faith that the children of Donald Trump are part of. So it's not just some fringe group. There's a Chabad community in and not every Chabadist rabbis in on the New World Order. But I probably the majority of them to be like your normal person of the Judaic faith isn't in on it. Your normal Mason down the street doing a pancake breakfast isn't in on it. Your normal Jesuit priest isn't in on it. There's the enigma of number 23. Jim Carrey has a movie on it. Aleister Crowley has written about it. Robert Anton LaVey from a Hasidic family, I think, or like steeped in Kabbalah. The number 23. The Kabbalists affirm that in the present times, a letter, is missing in the Torah. This letter of the alphabet does not appear at all in our ion or eon. That means in the age of Pisces. Their seventh age is the age of Aquarius. Is that going to be a good thing? If we stand up and shine, answer the call to action, or we could just sit back in delusional land, which is something that the 23rd letter goes to. It's the world. There's 22 letters in the Hebrew alphabet. It's the 7 visible heavenly luminaries. It's the 12 zodiacal signs. That's 19. Which equals Kuf, which means fool, monkey. In 2019, the 19th card of the tarot deck is the Sun card. They gave us the Corona virus. But hopefully, that was a lot of us. It's shown a light. That what is it? The sun illuminates. The Illuminatus, written by Robert Anton LaVey, speaks of 23 at length. I invite you to go into it on your own. Number 20 is judgment. And so they put down the great judgment. This, you're all going to have to, the whole world, the 21st card is on lockdown. The 22nd card is the Fool card, which is either 0 or 22. The 22nd letter in the alphabet is Shin, 300. And that's the fire of life. So they use number 33, the Shin, on the mezuzah when you go into every home. And it's like the fire in the temple. And then 23 or 22 is the Shin. No, is the seal. Is the Tav, which is the 22nd letter. 21st is Shin, which is the world card. And so that's like the fire, the spirit of God in the world, perhaps. And so, and it's 23, it's game over. It's the feminine, number 2, the second card, the high priestess, earth and water, and then brought together with the 3, the royal trinity, fire and air, the masculine elements, crowned by the quintessential element of the aether, which brings us to the 2 3 is the 5, which is our 5-pointed pentagram, is a symbol of that, and some other things. Venus is one of the things. The 5-pointed star is Venus, and Venus is going to spend a lot of time in Leo this year. So that's Venus is the light bearer, our hope of love. If we could be more loving Venus-like and express those attributes, we'd be good. And that's what is we're going to be called to be courageous to do that. Leo. A leader in doing that. Leo. in loving and not getting lost in the, the light bearer, Venus, Lucifer, the fake light of just material pleasure and beauty, surface stuff. And we're looking to get a new Louis bag while the world's going to shit and our own life going to shit. Because we have to remember that we are a reflection. The world is, in some ways, a reflection of what's going on in us. Perhaps, they say that if there's just one real person who ever actually followed that inner voice of God, whatever you want to call it, tells you what the frick to do and what not, that's good, not to hurt others or ourselves. And if we followed that all the evil in the world would vanish. Can we step up to that call this year and let us not be too crazy? 23 is Enigma, and 23, the movie Jim Carrey, is about seeing the number 23 everywhere and synchronicities. We get so caught up in synchronicities and we're looking for synchronicities where we're not doing anything. It's in psychology, it's related to apotheosis, which means like thinking you're hearing the word of God, and they relate it to psychosis. So there's a thin line between being spiritual and being fucking crazy. And through the whole Piscean age, they have us diluted with the fish of Jesus. J was added. There's no J in the Hebrew letter alphabet. They gave J to us with the Roman alphabet, Latin, which is Hebrewized. Its root is Hebrew. Very similar to Greek as well. We forget Christianity was created by Judaism. They didn't create it to save the Gentile. They created it to delude them, to make them passive, to wait for a second coming when there was never a first. This is a story ultimately about us, hopefully, rising to the occasion, dying to our unhealthy ego. And I speak to myself. This year, was I a shining example of fucking virtue? Hell no. But we gotta get back up and try again. That's fine. That's fine. I said I wasn't going to get too fiery because I'm losing my voice. It's so cooler. Okay. The primitive divine alphabet and all of the Torah also would base on a series of 23 letters and not 22, which one has become invisible for us. There's that nefarious invisibleness. There is no 23rd letter in the Hebrew alphabet. The ancient of alphabets that we get, which it comes from Acadia, Babylonia, Mesopotamia, Sumer, very much together with the languages from the East End in Egypt. I always forget that language's name. The Vedic scriptures were written in the Vedanta. Oh, this is gonna irk me. Every time I read them, I'm gonna forget that. I'm not gonna forget it this time. Look at me, I forgot it. Oh! If you want to learn the mantras, you're gonna want to speak them in that. That's very powerful. Learning those mantras in that language of. Damn it! Oh no, I'm trying. I'm not. Okay, so continuing. The primitive divine alphabet and all the Torah also would based on a series of 23 letters. The original divine Torah alphabet, used to write the Torah, was only given 22. One letter was taken away and hidden for the age of Pisces. But in the Messianic age, the 7th age of Aquarius, it would appear. And so they gave that letter to Christians through Roman Catholicism and the Latin language with the introduction of the letter J, where we get Jesus. A fabrication to trick us, my friends. I know that's hard for lots of us. But when we realize that there is beauty in the allegory and the metaphors of it, but when we take it literally, we're going off to fight a crusade in the Middle East against another religion created by Judaism. And we're pitted against each other, and who's going to stand at the end? The people who created both of them, probably. And they love to use gematria. The primitive divine alphabet in all the Torah also would base on a series of 23 letters and not 22. Which one is become invisible for us? Which the other one has become invisible for us and will reappear only during the next terrestrial period, the age of Aquarius. And it is only because this letter misses now everywhere that we read the Torah, the positive and the negative precepts. Each negative aspect is in relation with this missing letter or the primitive alphabet. Each negative aspect is in relation with this missing letter or the primitive alphabet. Julius Caesar, according to Kabbalist William Shakespeare's nomenclature, forget his name right now. Caesar was stabbed 23 times. The circulation of the blood through all the human body takes 23 seconds. 23 axioms of geometry of Euclid. 23 days of the physical cycle in the biorhythm. The oval and the spermatozoon are composed of both 23 chromosomes. Together, 46. The words leprous, dragon, and blasphemy are used 23 times in the Bible. Lovers, this could be a time for a great awakening or a great and standing up to this. There's no secret cabal behind the scenes that really controls everything. It's democracy. This thing is ruled by the people. A threat to our democracy is every time we try to speak up out against this fuckery. The 7th chakra is usually related with the crown or the bottom tail. The tail of the eclipses, that nodal point it's called Ketu in the Indian language that I can't fucking remember. It's gonna kill me. Rahu, the head. Rahu, the head, is trying to grab after something. It's where we're pointed at. In Taurus, we're pointing towards comfortableness. Is where it is right now. But we have the planet Uranus there, who's actually associated with the tail of the dragon in modern astrological parlance and numerology. So that's breaking down. That's the tower breaking down type moment, Uranus in Taurus. The tower being Taurus. The lightning bolt being Uranus. So we're looking for safety and security. And willing to give up our fucking rights for it. Exactly what the goddamn thing did to us after Shmime 11. Another thing we can't fucking question, or even World War II, World War I history. No one gives a shit. Well, we've been born into this time. Here's the situation. An angel fucking told you before your precious little soul and spirit came together into incarnation. A little baby Jesus. Before you came into that beautiful manger, surrounded by the animals of the zodiac. The manger, a constellation in Cancer. An angel said to you, here's the deal. In 2023, you're going to have an opportunity to really step up and be brave and speak the truth and study and learn and care about others and the world. And here's your tools. Technology, your beautiful fucking body, your mind, your intellect, your conscious, your ability to be, your personality that you've developed and crafted, that hopefully we haven't made a god of. We could be as cunning as snakes. Zion is a snake and a lightning bolt. Zion is the snake erect. Moses has lifted up the snake on the staff. All a reference to our Kundalini, again, from this Indian language. It's fucking killing me. Send me the word in your brain right now so that it will come to me. The ancient Hindu language of India was called... Hey Siri, what is the ancient Indian language called?
Here's an answer from webindia123.com. Sanskrit, the classical language of India,
Sanskrit.
is the highest achievement of the Indo-Aryan languages.
Why didn't I ask Siri that earlier? We do have many gifts. Look, we have this. There's people who get out of school and decide to stop learning. I dropped out of fucking high school. Graduated from alternative high school. And they're amazed. Went and got my educations and higher degrees. But they're amazed that I keep on learning and studying. I'm amazed that they gave up. I want to know everything. That's what it means to be conscious and awake. And what's the first part of waking up? Not folders in your cup. The first part of waking up is realizing that we're fucking asleep. And they refer to us as the walking fucking dead. Those who are asleep in the dark and ignorance without the G of gnosis. The seventh letter of the Hebrew alphabet. Here's a time where we can go and dive into this stuff before they totally purge it from... They won't purge it. They've kept it secret in their societies. The main mystical element of Masonry is Kabbalah. Will you have the courage to speak out and to be aware of the psyop that is patriotism? I love my country, 'tis of thee. I don't see much fucking liberty. Aquarius is the sign of liberty. Revolution. Pluto is entering into it this very year. This is the year that we turn into the age of Aquarius. Run and tell that. Others have given other dates for it. This is the main mile marker. And then simultaneously, Saturn, the sickle, going into Pisces to fucking end that age. Hopefully to end the delusion. So we can rise up into Aquarius instead of getting marched into fucking mass internment camps in Aquarius. A big Pluto doves. Mass deaths. I'm sorry. Saturn's joy is in Pisces. Not because Saturn is skipping through the park holding your fucking hand. Because Saturn with his sickle gets to fucking finish the job in Pisces. The final sign of the goddamn zodiac. Calm down, Liam. So, I'd like to once again point to Venus will spend a lot of time do her retrograde motion to really revivify us in our ability to be courageous and come from our heart. Are we up to that? I think we are. And that, my friends, is the Aquarians' 2023 astrological prediction. We could be like Michael Jordan up in this bitch, 23. There's 23 degrees in the band of our equator. The sun dies at the 23rd.5 degree of Capricorn on the 23rd, 24th of December. Well, can we die to our stupidity, die to our willful ignorance, and be born into our courageous solar Leo, the sun, self? Can we be listen to that voice that is trying to help us, which is a spirit, trying to help us to create a beautiful soul, so that when we pass out of here on fucking Judgment Day, goes throughout all the traditions where you get judged for the good shit versus the bad shit you did. That doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that's how the fucking world works. What you reap is what you sow. Karma. Lovers, if you don't reach Buddhahood, Christening, the level of Moshiach, married together with Shekinah, the Holy Spirit, the divine masculine and feminine, and turn into a flame, then you're going to get born back into this place again next time. If you're lucky. If you haven't just decided to live like an animal, you'll come back as a human. Some of us might even come back as fucking minerals. Dirt. It's probably what I'm fucking worthy of. Oh no, but Jesus Christ suffered on a sin so we don't have to fucking do shit. They would like us to think that. So that somebody else can fucking die for what I've done. They sacrifice animals to make up for the bad shit that they do. Now we do have to kill shit to live here. Even if you're a vegetarian, you're killing vegetation to live. A conscious thing. Well, can we do it consciously? With thanks for this thing that sacrificed for us. to give us life. As we transmute, our body shows us what we're trying to do spiritually. Transmute the material world into energy. Fucking good energy, I hope. Woo! Sometimes I just get the Holy Spirit moving in me. I can feel Shekinah rising. So, yeah. Some numbers to be aware of. 7, 23, which goes to 5. 5 is the magician number. Now, it could be you being the magician and the master of your life, or it could be us getting scallywagged and hoodwinked on a level that would make the coronavirus look like child's play, like monkey business. Or we could fucking put order into our life, take the time to discipline us, know our royal fucking priesthood, not give it up to somebody else, and do this shit valiantly. My country, 'tis of thee. Everybody's country, equally, beautifully. I live in America. And I am the big critic of it. We're responsible for the big part of us moving into the new world order that's run from, what does the Bible tell us? From Zion. And the word shall come forth from Jerusalem. And the Alaska Mosque will be where the animal sacrifices will be reinstated after the red heifer. And they're actively doing this shit. And if we don't comply by the how many Noahide laws? 7. We get our fucking heads zapped off. Is what the law says. And what's the number one rule? To worship God. People are okay, I get behind that. Well, first of all, what happens to the fucking atheists? Who's God? The God of the Bible. So there goes the fucking Hindus and the Buddhists and those who've gone back to their native traditions before they got mollywopped with either Christian or Islam. And don't eat a broken off piece of an animal while it's still living. It's a primitive shit, but they fucking take it seriously today. They got the whole world going by a fucking Iron Age religion. Can we step into the New Age? And all these Christians, the Bible told me that when the New Age happens, that means Satan is trying to bring us all together into one world religion. So let us stay separate and fight each other. The one world religion is the religion, the Abrahamic faith, of which it spawned our Christianity, Islam, and then the thousands of sects in, well, especially Christianity. Lovers, let us keep learning together, loving together, taking care of ourselves, our loved ones, and even let's go out. I know so many people, as long as I'm taking care of my daughter and wife and son, that's all that matters. Well, that's pretty fucking cowardly, but understandable. But then lots of us have these jobs. Oh, if I speak out against this, I'm going to lose my job. So you think when you meet the fucking grand architect of all, which is really your fucking self, you're like, you know what? You're good. Yeah, you ignored the world crumbling around you and your neighbor. When the 10 Commandments, which is the world commandments, is the 10 statements. Loving your neighbor. Love your neighbor. The neighbor is your fellow person of your religious and racial identity to whom that book was written for. And then they translate it down into Christianity. Love your enemy. Well, that's a good recipe for getting fucking crushed. We've got to wake up out of this hoax. Let's do it lovingly. I know sometimes I get fired up. And what I try to do, and what you might want to try to follow that model, I'm not alone, is to bring out the allegorical, metaphorical, metaphysical stuff of it. We find it in the Hermetic traditions of Greece, ancient Egypt, Tibetan Buddhism. Such theosophists and syncretic scholars bridge the East and the West together and say, here's a common element. Lots of it about channeling our energy and not wasting it. Controlling our emotional, mechanical, sexual mind. Raising it up to our heart mind and calming that mind, which is also related to emotions. And then to our intellectual mind and bringing them in one sacred, blessed union. Holy, wholesome, let us be. So when we meet the maker, whatever the fuck that might be, very well may be us, we could say, we fucking tried, at least. And so, for the rest of the shit, went to shit, that's on fucking you, buddy. Now let me into the fucking goddamn gates. Let's have a good 2023, the Aquarian.tv. Liam Jarrett.